So I had this series of thoughts that culminated, I guess, maybe like a week ago. And I said, I don't think I'm going to make any more connections. So I might as well just write it down, draw the conclusion. And that is basically reversed prejudice. You know how we talk about things being reversed, like reversed R word when it comes to races and things like that. And then I thought, I don't feel like reversed prejudice is discussed or acknowledged quite as much. So then I wanted to think about it and then jot down any ideas that took place. Those are, for instance, dating someone poor. When you date someone poor, the poor person may think that they're getting used, like they're not valued. And I have an experience that I can say I could kind of attach to that. And basically, it was years ago, the worst person I ever met. And it was that one guy who's like fucking 30, 35 years older than me. And he was like, good luck with your cashier career, because although I told him I'm in a relationship, I'm taken, I'm not available, and I'm not interested in your old ass ugly self, on top of that being emotionally manipulative, not understanding boundaries. When he said good luck with your cashier career, I looked at it as he kept promising to marry me and give me this wonderful life of luxury and all that. And I'm like, the only reason you're saying this is because this unfortunately worked on another naive, easily to impress girl. I am not one of those, whether you like it or not. It's very clear that you don't like it, because if you're insisting this much, it's because you're not used to someone, I guess, rejecting your advances. Well, I have bad news for you. I'm an expert at pushing people the fuck away. And I know that he picked on me because to him, I appeared as someone defenseless and resourceless, because I wasn't exactly a veteran in the area. I was pretty new to this area, and I didn't have any friends. I didn't disclose to him that I don't have any friends or anything like that, but he knew that I had family members here and that I had a boyfriend. The fact that you were not respecting me having a relationship pissed me off. Just because you're used to other people not having a concept of being faithful doesn't mean that every person ever is gonna be like that. When somebody tells you no, you have to accept it. No. No means no, not fuck. Same as the stop sign. Stop means stop, not fuck. I'm going to keep going. That lack of respect is something that pisses me off, and I knew that if I were to give in to this clown's advances, even if I would have been single, I'm not interested in him, period, because to me he just looked nasty. He disgusted me, especially the way that he tried to approach me and pick me up. And the final nail on the coffin was when he said, make sure that this conversation stays between us. Why would you say that to somebody? If you're proud of what you're doing, if you're proud of what you're saying, you don't care about how this information ends up divulged. That's how you know you're a fucking crook. Or just because I'm poor, it doesn't mean I'm just vulnerable and usable and fuckable. Whatever it is idea of me you had. And I think he was pissed off that no matter what kind of promises he made, I was rejecting him. And it's just funny that he really thought he had power over me. Like the power dynamic imbalance, it was very evidently there. And I'm like, I'm going to tell everybody I know that if I appear dead or if I'm kidnapped, you fucking did it. After I told him that, he shed himself. That's when him trying to invite me to his place stopped. Do you really not think I don't know what you're doing? You fucking idiot. At that point, I came so close to like going to the police and maybe doing like some kind of note to file. I doubt that they do such things. But at the very least, I wanted to mention that I don't feel safe with this person. I have already established a boundary at my job. I said, this person, I would like for him to be banned from my register. And if he tries to come through my line, I'm going to request another cashier take over for me, please. And my job took me seriously. They did that for me, and I was super grateful for that. But I wanted to take it a little more serious since he wasn't stopping. I'm like, I'm not playing games with you, stupid ass. Okay, I'm serious. I know you're not, but I am. Look at this face and take it seriously. That was my personal story, but ultimately, this could happen in any capacity. It doesn't have to be a situation of someone trying to pressure someone into something like it happened to me. In a normal circumstance, if you're genuinely interested and trying to be invested in a person, when your socioeconomic status is different and one person may be benefiting more from the other and the other isn't necessarily being fulfilled in that capacity, at that point, I wonder, are you sensitive about your resources or are you not? Because if you want to be safe from that, then date only within your socioeconomic status. And then suffer the consequences of limiting your date pool to just people who are in the same plane as you, that have the same ambition as you, whatever that is, and deal with whatever disasters are associated with that dynamic. But also, if you have a significant difference in socioeconomic status, then also learn to cope with the challenges that poses. If you're going to enter that relationship having doubt over your partner because you're feeling like you're going to be used, that is not the relationship for you. Because even if you feel used, I don't think it should pain you to support your less fortunate partner. You're going to invest that money and you're not going to give a damn about why your partner is using your resources because you're the one supplying them. Now, if your partner who has fewer resources than you is trying to take control of what you have, then worry. Then that is a problem. But if you open the door to your resources to this person, at that point, you surrendered your power. You surrender your right to feel like you have to protect your wealth at that point. But I personally think that it can also be true the other way around, that the rich person may think that you're with them for their money. At that point, you just gotta be patient. You gotta be good at reading people and take your time building up with this person. And whatever is a deal breaker, establish it from the beginning and accordingly make your decisions. I find that extremely easy. I cannot imagine a life in which something like that gets in my way. But for me personally, I always knew that I feel more comfortable with people that are like me, people who are similar to me. And I have trust issues toward rich people. But if you got rich because you actually worked for it and your job is what got you rich, great. I can respect that. In another twist as well, I would like to be a part of someone who I witnessed building and we sort of grew together. In the same manner that I'm trying to do things to grow myself, you're doing things to grow yourself. We're putting in the work, we're putting in the hours, we're putting in the effort. We are getting rich. I think to me that is the most meaningful experience, as opposed to we are getting together after you have your stuff or after I have my stuff and now I gotta wonder what your intentions are. I don't have time for that. I'm not an insecure person. So what I do is I understand I don't belong in the rich echelons of society. So why would I look for dates over there? And why would I look for dates that every other bitch also wants? Remember, I'm a person who doesn't like attention. If I don't like attention on me, I don't want my partner to get attention. I don't want to be having to worry about other bitches wanting what I just so happen to get. Not because it's what I was pursuing, but because it just so happened to be that this clown I'm with is resourceful. I don't think I should have to give up the person I'm with just because they happen to have money, but other bitches can't help but be attracted to that. And I'm like, well, at that point, make a choice. Are you going to know how to neutralize them and give me my place, or are you going to be an entertainer? I don't have time for entertainers. I think it's all up to the person. The person's behavior is going to say a lot. Be with someone who defends your spot. And if they're not defending it well enough, fucking confront them. And after you confront them, if they don't have a sense of what you're talking about, then let them go. It really is that fucking simple. Now, another dynamic that I thought about when it comes to reversed prejudice is I'm a worker coming here to bring a service, perform work, perform a task. while I'm at it, why do I gotta be humiliated? Why do I gotta be treated and looked down upon simply because of the position I'm holding? Just because it's a humble kind of job or a job that is low skill, therefore you don't have any value, you don't contribute much to society. My job is so low skilled that no motherfuckers who we hire can handle the pressure and can handle the stress. So maybe it's not as easy as you think. Why do I also gotta park the farthest from the building? I understand the convenience of the customer, but what about my convenience and my safety as a especially young female and at nighttime? That type of thing, I always hated that. The only safety feature I was offered was make sure that you always walk with somebody. But I don't think that's fair on the person who's escorting me, because I don't think that I should have to depend on another person's presence to ensure my safety. Clearly, the place is not safe at nighttime. Why wouldn't you allow me to park close to the building at nighttime? That is far safer than me having to walk to the opposite end of the lot. And that way, I don't have to inconvenience anybody, inconvenience myself, waiting for someone to walk with me. Isn't that common sense? Also, why do I gotta be the one walking the farthest away under the scorching sun or under the wettiest, the super wetty rain? If I'm really that valued, if I'm really such an important servant, why the fuck do I get the worst of it? Why do I have to be the one humiliated and suffering? All because we gotta protect the convenience of those spending money. Learn to protect and honor those who serve you and respect them. But I always feel like we get the worst of everything. But then, in conclusion, when I think about that kind of reversed prejudice, I feel like it all boils down to the fact that we're all slaves in this. Like, unless you're actually the one at the very top who has control of everything, we're all slaves. When you are a slave, you'll never be rewarded with something greater for being a good slave. Take me, for example. When I was trying to move up within the company, I thought, hell yeah, that's gonna be my reward. My reward is gonna be the extra little bit of money, the compensation, the extra hours. Therefore, I'm giving myself more stability, something like that. But even if my own merit kept helping me move up and up and up and up, that ultimately doesn't mean shit, because it's not like I can move up high enough to where I will be the owner of this. I will be the one running this, and I will have power and control over my pay and schedule and what benefits are covered and what benefits are not. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Because who would want to lose a good slave? That's why you'll never get something greater for being a good slave than what you're contributing already. They notice your talents and they try to move you to the place where we think this is suitable for you because it's what you can do, what you look like you like to do. Let's give you more of that. But what I bring home doesn't show anything. I don't see the reward of my effort and work. Why? Because you're the one who has control over how much you think I'm worth for me to take home with me. That pisses me off. That, I look at it as a reversed prejudice. Because it's like, sure, as a worker, I'm needed and respected, but my power dynamic is very low. And now I understand why, even if they have a cost of their own, people really need unions. This shit can only work if we have our numbers combined to fight these crazy people who ultimately gained all that power and control over our lives like this. I'm guessing elites now are experiencing reverse prejudice because the elites always looked down upon us and they felt superiority. But now that we're like pushing back and clapping back, and one person even took one out in the process, then now they're freaking the fuck out because the power balance is like under threat here. So anyways, you guys, those were my thoughts. They're pretty disorganized because of course this wasn't an official topic like that. It's just, I just had the phrase reverse prejudice hit me one day and I thought, In what ways have I experienced or witnessed examples of reversed prejudice? And this is just my interpretation. You feel free to include your own interpretations or experiences. I know what I think and what I like and don't like. And like I've said before, I'm just really honest and simple. And I really think that that's the key to life. Live humbly, live simply, and be fucking honest. Damn, you know how good honesty is? It sets you free. It may not solve all your problems, but at least you don't have to work so hard at trying to put a drapery over everything. Just be honest. Do you like the person or do you not like the person? Do you want to go or do you not want to go? Do you want to be with this person or do you not want to be with this person? Do you like the taste or do you not like the taste? Pick something and commit to it. Period. Okay, that's it. Bye.